Egypt. The name itself conjures images of colossal pyramids piercing a desert sky, of golden treasures buried with pharaohs, and of a river that has been the lifeblood of a civilization for millennia. It is a land steeped in a history so deep, so profound, it can feel almost overwhelming. But beyond the artifacts in museums and the hieroglyphs carved in stone, there exists another Egypt, an Egypt that calls not just to the historian or the archaeologist, but to the adventurer, the thrill-seeker, the individual who yearns to feel the pulse of this ancient land in a way that is visceral, immediate, and utterly unforgettable. This is not a journey through a history book. This is an invitation to write your own chapter in the sands of time. We will take you beyond the velvet ropes and guided tours to the very heart of the action. This is a guide for those who believe that travel is not a passive act of observation, but an active pursuit of experience. For those who want to feel the spray of the Red Sea, the grit of the Sahara on their skin, and the awe-inspiring silence of a sunrise from a sacred mountain peak. This is Egypt for the modern explorer, the one who seeks adrenaline as much as antiquity. My role here is simple: to be your narrator, your guide through this landscape of wonders. I'll be speaking to you directly, as a fellow traveler might, sharing the details and the feelings that make these experiences so powerful. With a perspective honed in the bustling streets of New York, I'll cut through the noise to bring you the essential information, the untold stories, and the practical advice you need to embark on these adventures safely and with confidence. This is a straightforward account of what awaits you in this remarkable country, a land of stark contrasts and breathtaking beauty. We have crafted this visual journey to be shared, to inspire, and to be easily accessible across the platforms where you connect and dream. From the immersive detail of YouTube to the quick, captivating moments on Instagram and TikTok, this series is designed for the digital age of exploration. Our goal is to provide you with not just a list, but a vivid, compelling narrative that transports you to Egypt long before you book your flight. So prepare yourself. The adventure is about to begin. The ancient world is calling, and it's time to answer. The journey begins at the Giza plateau. Nothing can prepare you for standing before the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafra, and the Pyramid of Menkaure. It recalibrates your sense of scale and time. Embark on a camel ride to see the plateau as a living landscape. The path leads to the Great Sphinx. To stand before it is to come face to face with one of history's greatest mysteries. Adjacent to the Sphinx lies the Valley Temple. Your time at the Giza plateau concludes here, having experienced the site from distinct perspectives. You leave with a profound connection to a civilization that continues to inspire us. From the desert, our adventure takes a dramatic turn, plunging beneath the surface into a world of kaleidoscopic color. The Red Sea is a liquid treasure chest, a global epicenter for marine biodiversity. Its waters offer a gateway to one of the planet's most spectacular underwater ecosystems. It is a city of coral, rising from the seafloor in intricate formations. Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada offer access to world-renowned diving. The reefs are legendary for their dramatic drop-offs. Hurghada is famous for its beautiful coral gardens and shipwrecks. Beneath the waves lies the SS Thistlegorm, a British transport ship sunk in 1941. To dive the Thistlegorm is to dive into a time capsule. It is a place where human and natural history have intertwined. The adventure of diving in the Red Sea is one of discovery. You surface with a renewed sense of wonder, becoming part of the Red Sea's underwater universe. Beyond the Nile lies another Egypt, an Egypt of silence, shifting landscapes, and immense power. We're talking about the Great Sand Sea, a western expanse of the Sahara Desert. It's here that a modern adventure finds its footing on the crest of a dune. The wind carries a new sound, the hiss of a board slicing through golden grains of sand. The concept is simple, echoing snowboarding. You strap your feet onto a board and launch yourself from a dune. The sensation is entirely different. Sand offers a unique resistance, a softer cushion than snow, yet it demands balance and control. Standing atop a dune with nothing but sand and sky is a humbling experience. The descent is a rush, but the memory that endures is the stillness, the golden light. These are mountains of sand, sculpted by wind into breathtaking formations. Reaching the summit, you are rewarded with a panorama that is almost otherworldly for the ride of your life. The initial acceleration is startling. It's a feeling of controlled freefall. This cycle of effort and reward is the heart of the experience. The Fayoum Oasis presents a more accessible yet no less thrilling sandboarding experience. The dunes here, particularly around the Magic Lake, offer perfect slopes. It's a holistic desert experience. You can graduate to steeper, more challenging dunes that provide a genuine rush. As the day ends, the setting sun paints the Fayoum sky in fiery hues, combined to create an unforgettable adventure. It begins in the dark, ferried across the Nile to Luxor's west bank. Here, giants of nylon awaken with roaring burners. You clamber into the basket, anticipation building. A blast of flame and you're airborne, floating into the twilight. The world shrinks below as you rise to meet the sun. Golden light transforms the landscape, revealing the Valley of the Kings and Hatshepsut's temple. The colossi of Memnon stand as lonely sentinels. As you descend, children wave. The basket bumps to a halt, met with laughter. You've witnessed a breathtaking sunrise over ancient wonders, a memory etched in gold. In a land defined by a river, there is no more authentic way to travel than upon its waters. And on the Nile, the most timeless and romantic way to do so is aboard a felucca. These traditional wooden sailing boats, with their distinctive lateen sails, have plied these waters for thousands of years, their design virtually unchanged since the time of the pharaohs. Our journey begins in Aswan, Egypt's southernmost city, a place where the Nile is at its most beautiful. Here the river flows gently around granite islands, its banks lined with lush palm groves and the golden sands of the Nubian desert. It's the perfect starting point for an adventure that is all about slowing down. Preparing to cast off is a ritual in itself. You meet your Nubian captain and his crew, men whose families have sailed this river for generations. Their knowledge of the Nile's currents, winds, and secrets is not learned from charts but inherited, passed down through bloodlines. The felucca itself is a model of elegant simplicity. There is no engine, no noisy generator, no modern distractions. The deck is covered with colorful cushions and mattresses, creating a communal living space. Your luggage is stowed, provisions are loaded, and with a final push from the shore and the unfurling of the great white sail, you are caught by the breeze and begin to glide silently away from the dock. The contrast with the bustle of the city is immediate and profound. The sounds of traffic and crowds are replaced by the gentle lapping of water against the hull, the creak of the wooden mast, and the whisper of the wind in the sail. You are instantly initiated into a slower rhythm of life, one dictated not by schedules and clocks, but by the natural forces of wind and water. The first few hours are mesmerizing as you tack back and forth across the river, navigating around islands like Elephantine and past the Aga Khan Mausoleum perched high on a cliff. The world unfolds at a pace that allows you to truly see it, to absorb every detail. This is not a luxury cruise in the conventional sense. The amenities are basic, sleeping on deck under the stars, washing in the river, and enjoying simple, delicious meals cooked by the crew on a small stove. But its richness lies in this very simplicity. It's an escape from the complexities of modern life, a chance to disconnect from technology and reconnect with the natural world and your fellow travelers. As Aswan recedes into the distance and you head north with the current, you feel a sense of liberation, of embarking on a true journey of discovery, powered only by the ancient elements. A day on a felucca is a study in blissful idleness and sudden activity. Much of the time is spent lounging on the deck, lost in a book, gazing at the ever-changing scenery, or simply dozing in the warm Egyptian sun. The riverbanks are a continuous, living tableau. You watch farmers working their fields with donkeys and buffalo, using the same methods their ancestors did. Children run along the shore, their calls of hello and welcome carrying across the water. Fishermen in small rowboats cast their nets, and the air is filled with the songs of exotic birds that inhabit the reeds along the banks. Life is beautifully uncomplicated. Mealtimes are a highlight, a moment of gathering and sharing. The crew, with remarkable skill on their simple equipment, will produce feasts of fresh salads, flavorful tagines, rice, and freshly baked flatbread. The ingredients are often sourced from the small villages you pass, creating a direct link to the land you are traveling through. Eating together on the deck as the boat drifts along fosters a unique sense of community. Conversations flow easily, friendships are forged, and stories are shared with your captain, who might regale you with. For millennia, this mountain has beckoned. They call it Gebel Musa, the Mountain of Moses, or simply Mount Sinai. The adventure here is a pilgrimage into history, faith, and the beauty of the Sinai Peninsula. The journey begins in darkness, guided by Bedouins. The camel trail winds up the granite slopes, the stars blaze, or take the steps of repentance carved into the mountainside. After hours, reach the summit in pre-dawn chill. The sky transforms, the horizon ignites. The sunrise is a profound event revealing a breathtaking panorama. It's an experience etched in your soul. Return to St. Catherine's Monastery with the wonder of the mountain. Beyond the Nile lies another Egypt, the Eastern Desert. Trade quiet tombs for the roar of a quad bike. After a safety briefing, set off in a convoy into the desert's heart. Visit a Bedouin camp for tea and a glimpse into their culture. Finally, witness a spectacular desert sunset. It's a blend of thrills and beauty, offering a glimpse into Egypt's wild side. At the southernmost tip of the Sinai Peninsula, where the waters of the Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Aqaba converge, lies a protected sanctuary of unparalleled beauty. This is Ras Muhammad National Park, a name that resonates with divers and snorkelers around the world. It is Egypt's first national park, a treasure trove of marine biodiversity, both above and below the water. The adventure here is not about climbing mountains or racing across deserts. It's about surrendering to a different element, about crossing the threshold from our world of air into a silent, vibrant, liquid world teeming with life. The journey to Ras Muhammad is an adventure in itself, often undertaken by boat from the nearby resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. As you cruise along the coastline, the stark, arid beauty of the Sinai Mountains provides a dramatic backdrop to the shimmering turquoise waters of the Red Sea. The anticipation builds with every mile as your guide points out the key features of the park. You pass the iconic mangrove channel, a surprising splash of green in the desert landscape, and see the ancient fossilized coral beds that testify to the area's rich geological history. This is a place where the desert meets the sea in the most spectacular fashion. Upon arrival, the first thing you notice is the incredible clarity of the water. It is a mesmerizing spectrum of blues, from pale aquamarine in the shallows to a deep, intense sapphire in the depths. The park is a carefully managed marine reserve, and the results of this conservation are immediately obvious. The mission here is simple: to put on a mask, a snorkel, and a pair of fins, and to step off the edge of the boat or the shore into another dimension. For a first-timer, this can be a moment of slight apprehension, but that feeling is instantly replaced by sheer wonder the moment your face slips beneath the surface. Instantly, you are silenced. The only sound is your own breathing through the snorkel, a rhythmic, meditative sound that becomes the soundtrack to your underwater exploration. You are no longer bound by gravity, but are floating, weightless, in a world of brilliant color and constant motion. The transition is absolute and breathtaking. You are an observer in an alien yet welcoming environment, a guest in one of the planet's most magnificent and well-preserved underwater gardens. This is the promise of Ras Muhammad, a portal to an adventure that unfolds in 3 dimensions. Once you are in the water, you find yourself suspended above a breathtaking spectacle: the coral gardens of Ras Muhammad. These are not static rock formations. They are living, breathing colonies, intricate cities built by tiny polyps over thousands of years. The diversity is staggering. You float over massive brain corals, their convoluted surfaces resembling a giant cerebrum. You drift past delicate fan corals, waving gently in the current, and intricate table corals that spread out like giant underwater platters. The colors are a kaleidoscope of pinks, purples, yellows, and blues, more vibrant than anything on land. The residents of these coral cities are just as spectacular. Ras Muhammad is home to over 1,000 species of fish, and you don't have to look far to find them. Schools of bright orange anthias, known as Red Sea goldfish, swarm around the coral heads, creating a cloud of shimmering color. You'll see the unmistakable shape of the Picasso triggerfish, its body painted with seemingly abstract patterns. Parrotfish, in their dazzling shades of green and blue, nibble on the coral with their beak-like mouths, their crunching noises audible even underwater. Every direction you look reveals a new species, a new color, a new pattern of behavior. The experience is like flying through a submerged alien forest. You can spend hours simply drifting with the gentle current, your eyes wide with wonder. You might spot a moray eel peeking out from its crevice in the reef, its mouth slightly agape, or perhaps a blue-spotted stingray, partially buried in the sandy bottom, its iridescent blue spots a warning and a thing of beauty. The sheer density of life is overwhelming. It's a dynamic, ever-changing environment where predators and prey engage in a silent, graceful ballet. Beyond the pyramids in the Nile, there exists an Egypt born from a dream. This is the White Desert, a protected national park, a geological masterpiece of surreal formations. To venture here is to step onto another planet, painted in brilliant white. These whimsical sculptures resemble giant mushrooms and spectral icebergs. As the sun sets, the landscape undergoes a breathtaking metamorphosis, imbued with a warm, golden luminescence. The night sky is an experience that borders on the spiritual. The Milky Way is a brilliant river of light. There are no facilities, no distractions, only you, the Earth, and the cosmos. Waking up in the pre-dawn chill is an unforgettable conclusion to an adventure that nourishes the soul. The adventure to Abu Simbel, a remote destination near Sudan, underscores its historical significance. Most travelers journey from Aswan, arriving as the sun illuminates the temples. The scale is staggering. 4 colossal statues of Ramesses II are carved into the mountain face. Beside it, a temple dedicated to his wife, Nefertari. Abu Simbel's story includes one of history's greatest archaeological rescue operations. Threatened by the Aswan Dam, the temples were moved piece by piece to higher ground. Engineers managed to preserve the temple's original solar alignment. Our 11th adventure takes us from the silent depths of ancient history to the exhilarating rush of the present moment. We're on the sun-drenched coast of the Red Sea, in the resort town of Gouna. This isn't a journey into a tomb or a temple, but an encounter with one of nature's most powerful forces, the wind. Here, the adventure is kitesurfing, a sport that combines the grace of surfing with the raw power of paragliding. It's a delicate yet demanding dance between human skill and elemental energy, a modern ritual played out on the shimmering turquoise stage of the Red Sea, a body of water that has witnessed millennia of trade, conflict, and discovery. The appeal is immediate, almost primal. You see them from the shore, vibrant kites like massive man-made butterflies soaring against an endlessly blue sky. They dip and climb, pulling riders across the water's surface at incredible speeds. It looks effortless, a seamless fusion of athlete and equipment. But behind that apparent ease lies a complex interplay of physics and instinct. It requires understanding the subtle shifts in wind direction, the tension in the lines, the balance of the board beneath your feet. It's a conversation with the elements, one that demands your full attention, your respect, and your courage. Gouna itself is a purpose-built paradise for this very activity. Its shallow, flat-water lagoons provide a perfect and relatively safe learning environment for beginners. The risk is minimized, but the thrill is not. You're not just learning a sport, you're learning a new language, the language of the wind. Instructors from around the world gather here, drawn by the reliable thermal winds that sweep in from the desert. They guide you through the initial steps, learning to control the kite on land before you even touch the water, a crucial foundation for the symphony of movement to come. The journey from novice to rider is a narrative of persistence. It begins with the kite pulling you, sometimes awkwardly, along the sand. It progresses to body dragging in the water, feeling the force that will eventually lift you. Then comes the moment of truth, getting up on the board. It's a moment of a dozen small failures followed by one glorious success. The first time you stand, harnessing the wind to glide across the water is a profound sensation of freedom. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our unyielding desire to master the world around us, not through brute force, but through understanding and harmony. What makes Gouna a global mecca for kitesurfers? The answer lies in a unique convergence of geographical and meteorological factors. It's a story told not in hieroglyphs, but in wind charts and tidal patterns. The region is blessed with consistent side-onshore winds, particularly from April to November. This predictability is the lifeblood of the sport. It means you can plan a trip with a high degree of confidence that you will have days, not just hours, of ideal conditions to practice and perfect your skills. This isn't a game of chance. It's a reliable invitation from nature. The topography of the coastline here is equally crucial. The vast, shallow lagoons act as a natural training ground. The water is often only waist-deep for hundreds of meters out from the shore. This provides a critical safety net for learners. Falling isn't a daunting prospect, but simply part of the process. You can easily stand up, readjust, and try again without the fatigue or danger of deep water. This forgiving environment accelerates the learning curve dramatically, transforming what could be a frustrating experience into an empowering one, building confidence with every attempt. Beyond the physical environment, there is a highly developed infrastructure dedicated solely to the sport. World-class kitesurfing centers line the beaches, offering state-of-the-art equipment for rent or purchase. These aren't just shops, they are community hubs. Here, seasoned professionals share tips with absolute beginners. A culture of mutual support and shared passion pervades the atmosphere. The camaraderie is as much a part of the Gouna experience as the wind itself. You arrive as a tourist, but you quickly become part of a global tribe united by a love for the wind and waves. And then there is the sun. The relentless Egyptian sun warms the water and the air, making long sessions on the water a pleasure, not an endurance test. The backdrop is stunning. The stark, beautiful mountains of the eastern desert meet the vibrant blue of the Red Sea. It's a visual feast that elevates the entire experience from a mere sport to something more profound. You are not just kitesurfing. You are kitesurfing in one of the most historically and geographically significant corners of the world, adding a layer of sublime beauty to the adrenaline. Let's talk about the feeling itself. The moment the kite catches a gust of wind and you feel that surge of power through the harness, it's an immediate, visceral connection to an unseen force. It's a feeling of being pulled, of being propelled by something far greater than yourself. Your focus narrows to a pinpoint. The kite, the board, the water, the horizon. The noise of the world fades away, replaced by the rush of the wind and the sound of the board carving through the water. It's a state of pure flow, a meditative experience at high speed. For the more advanced rider, Gouna offers a different kind of challenge. Beyond the calm lagoons lies the open sea, with its chop and swell. This is where the real artistry begins. Riders launch themselves into the air, performing complex rotations and grabs, hanging suspended against the sky for a few breathtaking seconds before landing gracefully back on the water. It's a display of athleticism and courage that is mesmerizing to watch. Each jump is a calculated risk, a momentary defiance of gravity, and a testament to the thousands of hours of practice required to reach that level of mastery. But the adventure in Gouna isn't confined to the daylight hours on the water. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the sea, a different kind of energy takes over. The kitesurfing community gathers at beachside bars and restaurants. Stories of the day are exchanged, the perfect run, the spectacular wipeout, the new trick landed for the first time. There is a palpable sense of shared experience, a bond forged in the crucible of wind and water. Friendships are made that span continents, all centered around this shared passion. This social dimension is an integral part of the adventure. It's about more than just the individual thrill. It's about belonging to something. It's about pushing your own limits during the day and celebrating those achievements with like-minded people in the evening. Kitesurfing in Gouna is a holistic experience. It challenges your body, focuses your mind, and connects you to a vibrant international community. It's an adventure that leaves you not just with memories of adrenaline, but with new skills, new friends, and a new appreciation for the invisible power of the wind. For our final and perhaps most unexpected adventure, we leave the sun, the wind, and the water behind. We travel deep into Egypt's eastern desert, to a place hidden from the casual eye, an adventure that unfolds not across the landscape, but beneath it. We are going caving in Wadi Sannur. This is not the Egypt of postcards. There are no pharaohs or pyramids here. Instead, there is a quiet, unassuming entrance in the ground that leads to a world of subterranean wonder, a geological masterpiece sculpted over millions of years, hidden in plain sight. The Sannur cave is a protected area, a natural treasure whose existence was unknown to the wider world until it was accidentally discovered by quarry workers in the 1980s. Getting here is an adventure in itself, a journey through a rugged, arid landscape that seems to hold its secrets close. The entrance is modest, a simple opening that gives little hint of the grandeur within. To enter is to cross a threshold into another realm, leaving the harsh desert sun for a cool, silent darkness. It requires a different kind of courage, not of speed or height, but of venturing into the enclosed, unknown spaces of the earth. This is an exploration into deep time. The cave was formed by thermal spring water percolating through the Eocene limestone that defines this region. Over an immense timescale, some 60 million years, this slow, patient process created a single magnificent chamber. As you descend, the air changes, growing cooler and more humid. The silence is profound, broken only by the drip of water, the sound of your own breathing, and the crunch of your footsteps. It's a sensory experience that forces you to slow down, to be present, and to contemplate the immense geological forces that have shaped our planet. The journey inside is not for the claustrophobic, but it is immensely rewarding. You are guided by experts who know the cave's secrets, navigating narrow passages that suddenly open into the main chamber. The scale is breathtaking. It's a cathedral of stone, a natural gallery of geologic art. Unlike the man-made temples of Luxor or Karnak, this was not built for gods or kings. It is a monument to the slow, persistent, and creative power of water and time, a humbling reminder of a world that exists just beneath our feet, operating on a timescale far beyond our human comprehension. Once inside the main chamber of the Sannur cave, the true nature of this adventure is revealed. It is a visual journey, an exploration of light and form in a world without sun. Your headlamp beam cuts through the darkness, and what it illuminates is simply astonishing. The walls, floor, and ceiling are covered in calcite crystal formations. These are not just rocks, they are intricate sculptures of breathtaking beauty. Stalactites hang from the ceiling like giant crystalline icicles, while stalagmites rise from the floor to meet them, the result of millennia of dripping, mineral-rich water. The variety of formations is what truly sets Sannur apart. Geologists refer to them as speleothems, and here they take on an almost infinite variety of shapes. There are delicate straw-like formations, massive columns where stalactites and stalagmites have joined, and flowing curtains of draperies that seem to defy gravity. The most unique features are the popcorn and coral formations, clusters of calcite that cover surfaces in intricate cauliflower-like patterns. Every turn of your head, every new angle of your light, reveals another masterpiece of natural art, each one unique and irreplaceable. The colors are subtle yet mesmerizing. The calcite is predominantly a brilliant, almost translucent white, which gives the cave a pristine, otherworldly quality. When your light catches the crystals just right, they glitter and sparkle as if embedded with millions of tiny diamonds. In some areas, mineral impurities have tinted the formations with delicate shades of yellow, red, and brown, adding depth and complexity to the subterranean palette. It feels less like a cave and more like a celestial palace, a hidden chamber of jewels crafted by the earth itself. It's a photographer's dream and a geologist's paradise. Exploring this chamber is a slow, careful process. The formations are incredibly fragile, the product of eons of slow growth. A single careless touch could destroy what took thousands of years to form. This fragility imparts a sense of reverence and responsibility. You are not a conqueror here. You are a privileged guest in a sacred space. The adventure lies in the meticulous observation, the quiet awe, and the profound connection to the geological history of the planet. It's a powerful reminder that some of the world's greatest wonders are not the biggest or the loudest, but the most delicate and hidden. The adventure of Wadi Sannur is also an intellectual one. It's a chance to understand the living science of our planet. Each formation tells a story. The stalactites and stalagmites are like geological clocks, their growth rings holding clues about past climates and environmental conditions. Scientists can study these formations to reconstruct a history of rainfall and temperature stretching back thousands of years. As a visitor, you are standing inside a natural archive, a library of Earth's history written in stone. This adds a layer of intellectual wonder to the visceral awe of the place. The silence of the cave is an experience in itself. In our modern world, true silence is a rare commodity. We are constantly surrounded by noise, by the hum of technology and the bustle of human activity. Down here, in the heart of the earth, there is an absence of that noise that is almost absolute. This profound quiet allows for a different kind of listening. You become acutely aware of your own heartbeat, the sound of your breath. It is a meditative state, a forced introspection that can be both calming and deeply moving. It's an adventure into your own consciousness as much as into the earth. The journey out of the cave is as significant as the journey in. As you ascend and emerge back into the desert, the world feels transformed. The sun seems brighter, the sky more vast, the air warmer. You return with a new perspective. You have seen a world that few will ever witness, a hidden dimension of the Egyptian landscape. The desert, which may have seemed barren and empty before, now holds the promise of hidden complexity and beauty. The adventure has fundamentally changed your perception of the ground beneath your feet. Wadi Sannur offers a final, crucial lesson in our tour of Egyptian adventures. It teaches us that adventure is not always about adrenaline and speed. It can also be found in stillness, in observation, and in the exploration of the unknown, whether it's a distant star or a hidden chamber within our own planet. It is a testament to the fact that Egypt's wonders are not limited to its human history. The country also holds natural marvels of global significance, waiting to be explored by those willing to look beyond the surface and venture into the quiet, beautiful darkness below. From the colossal shadows of the Giza pyramids to the silent, crystalline world of the Sannur cave, we have journeyed through an Egypt that is so much more than a museum of the past. It is a living, breathing land of adventure, a place that challenges the body, engages the mind, and stirs the soul. We've ridden the wind in El Gouna, sailed the timeless currents of the Nile, and stood atop a holy mountain to witness the dawn. Each experience, a different facet of this complex and endlessly fascinating country, proves that the spirit of discovery is alive and well in the land of the pharaohs. These 12 adventures are merely a starting point, an invitation. Egypt's landscape holds countless other opportunities for exploration, for pushing your limits, and for creating stories that will last a lifetime. The true adventure begins when you choose your own path. Perhaps it's one we've highlighted, or perhaps it's something else entirely. A dive site yet to be famed, a desert trail yet to be trekked. The thrill lies not just in the activity itself, but in the pursuit of the unknown, in the decision to step outside the familiar and embrace the extraordinary. Now we want to hear from you. What is your ultimate Egyptian adventure? Is it one we've featured, or have you had an experience that we missed? Share your stories and your dreams in the comments below. Your journey could be the inspiration for someone else's. This is how we build a community of travelers and adventurers, by sharing our knowledge and our passion for exploring this incredible world. Your voice is a vital part of this conversation. We hope this series has ignited your curiosity and fueled your desire for adventure. For more travel inspiration and in-depth guides to the world's most exciting destinations, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. The world is full of wonders, and we are committed to bringing them to you. And don't forget to check the video description, where we've compiled a list of resources, travel tips, and links to help you plan your own unforgettable Egyptian adventure. Thank you for joining us on this journey. The next one is waiting.